Okay, so I've got a bit of a controversial topic today. I want to talk about punishments. And it may come as no surprise that I do not agree with punishments, but I do agree with consequences, and we can talk a little bit about that, but I only have 3 minutes. So I want to talk about punishments from my own personal experience, and maybe it might help you identify with what I'm saying. So when I was younger, I was quite rebellious. I did what I wanted whenever I wanted, and nobody could tell me anything. And I felt like I was crying out for help. Somebody please help me. And I was escalating my behaviours and people just kept slapping punishments on top of them. You can't do that, now you've got a detention. You can't do that, now you're excluded. You can't do that, now you're grounded. Now you can't watch TV. Oh, and you can't see your friends. And it just kept piling up. And I got to the stage where I was like, I don't care. Throw anything you've got at me. Throw it at me. I do not care. And I'm going to do whatever I want. Because nobody sat down and said, hey, what's going on with you? So I believe that all behaviour is communication, and we need to look at what that person's trying to communicate to us. So when I have a student who is smashing up a classroom, let them finish. I take a deep breath. I open the door. I say, do you mind if I sit in here with you? They usually say it's fine, because they are communicating that they need attention, and it's fine. They can have the attention that they need. So I sit there for a minute. Take some deep breaths with them. I look at them and I say, would you like to talk about how you're feeling? And they might open up a little bit, and then they'll process. And there's usually some big underlying thing. I had an argument with my mum this morning and I'm feeling really anxious about it, and nobody's listening to me. So I've had to now smash up this room to get everybody's attention. Now we'll obviously talk about what's going to happen going forward. Okay, you're angry and that's completely fine. You've smashed up the classroom. We're still going to talk about you and how you feel, and you're totally validated. However, you've smashed up the room, so we are going to have to phone mum, and mum is probably going to have to pay for this, and I'm sure it will probably come out of your pocket money too, and those are the consequences of your actions. And that student is usually like, yeah, okay, I understand. And then we talk about it and we build this relationship, and over time, you know, you can then say, oh, wow, I can see that you're agitated, let's talk about it. And they feel trusting to talk to you, and they don't need to have these big displays of anger, because they're not going to be punished, not walking in there and saying, stop smashing up this classroom right now, your behaviour is ridiculous, blah, 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 blah. And you're just laying into them, and it's just adding to all this stress. So I don't believe in punishments, because I don't think it's fair to punish something when somebody doesn't know how to communicate. And if we start taking things away as well, my goodness, like taking away their phone and their Xbox, these outlets for these negative emotions that they're feeling, you're just making things worse.